We're back with another Sherwin-Williams color palette prepared by moi. And today's featured color is Rainwashed, which is one we've talked about many times on this channel. This is an interior color palette that you're free to use on your next paint project, or if you're just painting your house and you need some ideas. Glad you're here. Subscribe if you want to stay for more. So quick refresher, my color palettes are always in triangular formation. I like to do a top-down approach where we have the main color up top, which is the one that ties everything together, your support colors, which are more secondary, and then finishing colors, which are more accents along the bottom. Main color is going to be the one you use the most, probably, so hallway, living areas, things like that. You can use it everywhere if you really wanted to. Today's sponsor is us. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. Whether you're a do-it-yourself enthusiast or a professional painter, we have everything you need to make your project a success. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. So why don't we start right there at the top? Origami White. Love making origami when I was young. I only knew how to make a swan though. Cranes. And not like construction cranes either. Okay, so Origami White, a 76 light reflectance value white, which means it's only reflecting 76% of the light that hits it. Kind of bright, but not super mega piercing bright like these lights right here. I should show you guys one day. I got a big light in my face. And because it's not super intense, I think that's what makes it a pretty solid option as a wall color in the main parts of your home. Whether you need a color in the hallways, in the living areas, in the family room if you want, upstairs bedrooms, bathrooms, really this is your default choice. When you don't really know and you're not inspired to change things up, just stick with this. It's fine. Now, in terms of its color temperature, it's kind of in the middle, I would say, but there is a touch of a cool purple undertone that is very, very minor, so don't get scared or spooked. It is extremely subtle, and on its own especially, you won't even notice it, but there is a little bit of that sort of kind of taupey touch that sometimes pulls it in that purple violet direction. Like most off-whites, it is going to feel very neutral, very passive color, not too saturated, so that's what makes it a perfect main color in this palette. Okay, so now you know what you're starting with. What about some secondary support colors that can go with it? In this section, I like to include a white paint color that you could probably use on your trim, doors, and ceilings, and then a secondary wall color option if you wanted a different alternative to Origami White in certain rooms. So the first one is White Snow, which is going to be your trim and door color. This is a go-to white. It's part of the Emerald Designer Edition, so it's one of the newer colors. I love how crisp and minimalist it is. It's extremely clean. That's a 90 LRV. It is one of the highest lightness colors that Sherwin-Williams makes. I mean, any color in the 90s is going to be very light and bright because it's reflecting so much light. That's why I think it is best suited on things like woodwork and trim and doors rather than big walls, because that's just so much brightness coming back to you. I don't know if anyone wants that. I know I don't. Now, a better alternative on the walls would be the second support color, which is Spare White. So we have Origami White, which is a little more of that kind of earthy, taupey kind of touch within a white. Spare White, in my mind, is more of a greenish. Essentially, it's kind of a greeny, beigey white, which I think is really nice. Somewhat complementary to Origami White because of those undertones. I just think these are great alternatives, 1A and 1B, if you wanted a little more of that green touch in one room and you wanted a little more of that sort of purple touch in another, but they're extremely similar. The lightness scores, the LRVs, they're essentially identical. There's like a 1 point difference between the two. I would probably go with one or the other rather than making things too complicated and mixing and matching them. I just wanted to give you two solid options. Pick the one that suits you best. And honestly, what would suit me best is press that like button and a subscribe if you haven't already. Finishing color time. So these are the accent color options that I want to provide you with. Colors that have a little more depth, richness, saturation, and vibrancy than the other colors we talked about. Why don't we start with the color I talked about at the top of this video, Rainwashed, an immensely popular color, a lovely option for a lot of people that are into experimenting with some bluey, greeny colors, and that's pretty much what this is. It is technically in the green family of colors by Sherwin-Williams, but in practicality, I do find that the blue comes through quite prominently, especially in north-facing rooms, but there is that sort of turquoisey feel that I think is really nice with this color. Beautiful choice in bathrooms. This is one of the first colors I think of when it comes to bathrooms, but even kitchens, a family room, like there's a lot of options you can do here. In terms of accent colors, you can probably go a lot more bold, but that doesn't discredit and discount this color choice. I think it's awesome. And it really coordinates really well with the other ones we talked about. So Rainwashed has a little bit of that greeniness that Spare White has. And Grapey, our next color choice, has a bit of that earthy, taupey feel that Origami White has, the main color. So this one does lean more towards the purple side of things. But what I like about Grapey is its combination of purple brown, like a deep chocolate brown, and then that little bit of gray sort of soften things out and make it a little more neutral feeling. It's like an entry dark purple. Like, it's not quite eggplant, it's not quite Welch's grape juice. It has that sort of nice soft feeling to it, very shaded, a toned down deep purple, which is great. And because of that softness, it does make it a little more flexible. And you could use it as an accent wall option, especially for Origami White. Really contrasty. There's quite a difference in LRV. This is at like a 16, which is very, very dark, but also it could be even darker. So you still have a little bit of that buffer to give it just a touch of dustiness, which is nice. Unlike our third finishing color, which is Sea Mariner. So this, of course, is a pretty traditional, tried and true navy blue. It has a 7 LRV. It also seems to have just a touch of that grayed out quality that Grapey has as well, but obviously this one's way more saturated. So you're gonna notice a lot of that navy coming through. And this is the finishing color that sort of breaks the mold a little bit. It's the first time we're really introducing pure blue at its finest, because Rainwash does have the green quality happening as well. So this is an option if you wanted something just to sort of stand out in the palette, to be used on that special piece of furniture or the cabinetry that you really want to pop out, or like a powder room to just have it sort of be its own thing, still within the veins of the other colors, but really the true accent of the bunch. And here's the palette all together. Please let me know what you think, and let me know if you want your own palette. I do them custom for my customers. Link in the description down below if you want more information on that, and we have another video right over here.